Morning students, welcome back to our class that is IB International Business. I hope students you are doing good, and today we are going to discuss with a very important subject, that is international business. Once you complete this course, you are going to uh, understand the importance of IB International Business. That means nowadays there are no boundaries with different countries. You all are one. Even the persons who is staying in India, he can purchase or is buying and ordering the goods which are manufactured in USA or Europe or Middle East countries. So I hope students you are well versed already. You have studied this in marketing, international marketing. Now, the term emergence. The emergence of globalization was introduced to promote inherent wealth among all countries in the world. The United States has notably been identified as the leader in the globalization after the World War II. So why the international? Because after the World War II, as you know that many countries get collapsed and there was a uh, in demand of the goods which are manufacturing in other parts of the world where the war not takes place. So the whole Europe, the Middle East, the Asia countries and Asian countries and some part of America all got destroyed, and there was a number of corpses over there. Dead bodies were there. There was a huge demand of industries. There was a huge demand of food, agriculture, services, everything. So it has been taken place properly. Now, same in the 19th century, most countries started investing in the new format of transport and communication services with each other. So there was no boundary, there was no such a thing. But before going to globalization, I want to just go just back to the history. When did globalization begin? There was a question mark. Many scholars say it started with the Columbus voyage to the New World in 1492. He says that the people traveled to the nearby and faraway places well before Columbus' voyage, however, exchanging their ideas, products, and customs along the way. Not only that, the Middle East countries were also exchanging their ideas, and the spread of Christianity took place, spread of Islamism was took place. All these things were under the globalizations. Now, what is globalization? First of all, we have to understand globalization refers to the shift toward a more integrated and interdependent world economy. That means the goods which are manufactured in one country, those goods are being transferred to other countries which are in demand of other countries. So that's the reason. The thing is, the globalization is taking place. Is taking place now. Globalization of markets are nothing but uh, national markets are given, that means economics of scale. The economics of scale is taking place in such a way that the national markets are giving way to global markets. Examples, uh, the Middle East is the America is a place where the they are having a machinery, that means they are having the products of the goods now. The global marketing is taking place in those things. If you see on the screen, the globalization of the production is there. Take advantage of the national differences are the cost and the quality of the productions. All these things are taking place. Okay. Next, the emergence of globalization institutions like WTO, World Trade Organization, IMF, International Monetary Fund, International Monetary Fund. Next one, World Bank, United Nations. These are the four organizations which are running in the globe to run the organization smoothly or to trade peacefully within the globe. Now, next one, the most important cause of the globalization is different from the three major components of international market. What is that? For the sake of the trade, this was the first cause to bring the globalization market in the world. Second cause is multinational production. There was n number of production was taking place in one country, but the demand is in another country. That's the reason people started selling the goods to other countries. If I take an example, the America is a country where it is manufacturing a number of machines like two-wheelers, four-wheelers. but the demand more is in India. So they are selling. The goods which are in India like food grains, fruits, vegetables, spicy foods, that is more demand in Europe. But the peoples and the goods are transferring, exchange of goods are taking place here. That's the reason it has been taking place that uh, the international trade has been taking place over here. Next, multinational production, as I was explaining. Now, international finance. International finance was a place that means to increase the economic of a country for exchanging of goods. Next thing, globalization means the speed up of movements and exchanging of human beings or goods or services or capitals or technologies or cultural practices all over the planet. That means one of the effects of the globalization is that it promotes uh, or it increase the interaction between the different regions and populations around the world. See, in the olden days, people used to exchange the human beings as for the sake of slaves. That means black people used to sold to white peoples or the peoples who are selling of the global. That means the people used to sell the goods or they used to sell the human beings on the slave. It was international trade. Now the goods and services were there. Then the capital, then technologies, all these things there. And there was a cultural practice was this all over the planet. One of the effect of the globalization is that it promotes and increase interaction between different regions. Regions means areas where it has been taking place properly. Next, to increase the economic also. Next one, types of globalizations. The types of globalizations are many. Here we are having few, that is financial globalizations. Because with the help of the economy, the finance can be increased, economic development, technological globalizations, political globalizations, cultural globalizations, sociological globalization, ecological globalization, and geographical globalization. So all these things are taking place in such a way that to increase the work. Next, the loss of individualism and group identity occur when globalization encourages as a Western uh, that means encourages a Western ideal of individualism. Thus, promotes a homogeneous set of values and beliefs. Globalization allows further colonization, which impacts intellectual property and cultural rights. Yes. Next, what are the main usages? That means, if I talk about here, effects of globalization. The main effects of globalization is because industrialization, and second one is finance to increase the finance or to increase, that means to promote the goods, that means industrialization is taking place more and economic is there and job market is there. All these things to increase all these things we are going to take place properly for the effects of globalization. Next, globalization is the word used to describe the growing interdependence of the world's economies, cultures, and populations brought up by cross border trade in goods and services, technology, and flows of investment, people, and information. See, the words itself is showing the clear meaning and picture to you about this thing. Next one is the emergence of globalization also talks about WTO, World Trade Organizations, like its predecessor RGAT. Before 1944, after the World War II, there was an United Nations organizations. Before that, there was a organization by the name GATT. Okay, uh, General Agreement between Trades and Tariffs. The full form is primarily responsible for policing the world trading system and making sure that nation states adhere to the rules laid down in trade treaties signed by WTO members, World Trade Organization. In 2007, the 150 nations that accounted for 95% of the world trade were WTO members. The WTO promotes lower barriers to trade investment. And last, the monetary, that means the emergency of the global institution. Why the institution came? Which institution came? In 1944, the GATT came up to October 25, 1945. It has been converted into WTO and IMF. The International Monetary Fund and the World Bank were created in 1944 for investing the money for international business. Next, the IMF was established to maintain order in the international monetary system, and the World Bank was established to promote economic development. So I hope you have understand the topic, students. Please mention your roll numbers in the comment box. Thank you. Have a nice day.